The great Stoic philosopher Seneca once wrote, "Fortune falls heavily on those for whom she's unexpected. The one always on the lookout easily endures." This isn't just an ancient saying, it's a practical guide to navigating the ups and downs of life. Let's explore this idea through a story set in the bustling Roman port city of Ostia. Imagine two wealthy merchants, Valerius and Cato. They lived in neighboring villas, both enjoying immense fortunes from trade. But their mindset, their relationship with their wealth, couldn't have been more different. Valerius lived as if his good fortune was permanent, a sign that the gods favored him above all others. His home was a museum of extravagance, filled with rare tapestries, gold-leafed statues, and exotic birds. He saw his wealth as a solid, unbreakable foundation. Whenever his ship captains warned of pirates or storms, Valerius would just laugh and pour more wine. "Why spoil the sweetness of today," he'd say, "with the bitterness of a tomorrow that may never come?" He built his happiness on the assumption that things would always be this good. Cato, on the other hand, enjoyed his prosperity with a quiet awareness. He loved his family and his comfortable life, but every morning, as he watched his ships in the harbor, he would whisper to himself, "This is borrowed." He didn't dwell on negativity, but he practiced what the Stoics called premeditation of evils. He would visualize losing it all, his ships sinking, his warehouses burning to the ground. He wasn't trying to make himself miserable. He was training his mind, strengthening it to handle adversity, just like an athlete trains their body. He even kept a small emergency bag packed and ready by the door. Then, one day, disaster struck. It wasn't a storm or pirates, but a political decree from Rome. To fund a new war, the assets of the entire merchant class were to be seized. Soldiers arrived at dawn. When they pounded on Valerius's door, his world collapsed. He had never, not for a second, considered this possibility. The shock was so complete, it shattered him. He stood weeping in his courtyard as his treasures were carried away, screaming about injustice. The sheer surprise paralyzed him. His spirit was crushed under the weight of the unexpected, and he was dragged from his home a broken man, unable to comprehend a reality that didn't match his optimistic fantasies. But at Cato's villa, the soldiers found the door already open. Cato stood there, calm and composed. He looked at the captain and simply nodded. The moment he had rehearsed in his mind 1,000 times had finally arrived. There was no shock, only a sad recognition. Of course, he felt the pain of loss, but it wasn't a crushing blow. Because he was always on the lookout, misfortune was a guest he had long been expecting. While Valerius lay in the dust, destroyed by the surprise, Cato walked away with his head held high, his small bag in hand, and his mind intact. He was already thinking about his next move, enduring the heavy hand of fortune with the resilience of someone who had already made peace with her unpredictable nature. This story teaches us that preparing our minds for hardship isn't about being pessimistic. It's about building the inner strength to endure whatever life throws our way. If this story connected with you, please like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.